Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. Today we've got a Week 5 matchup in store here, as it'll be the Chiefs of San Juan taking on the Minnesota Vikings. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. In motion right is Addison. Cousins going to bat it forward here on the jet sweep. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. You talk about this Chiefs defense. They really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The catch and run good for 24 yards.
Rather quietly, Osborne has become a relied-upon presence in Minnesota. 650 yards each of the last 2 seasons, due for an even bigger role for them in 2023.
Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. In motion right is Addison. Now an end around as Cousins have just popped this forward. Oh, a heck of a move. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 43.
Good route here.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Cousins. Pass caught here by Osborne. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 23 yards, the final tally. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
off the play fake. Cousins. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The Vikings had 2-2 through the first 4 weeks of the season. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
Again, it's Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Cousins now. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
That was Will Anderson getting home and finishing the play. And that sack there, that likely brings out the field goal unit, so they might have to settle for 3 here on their opening drive.
They did some nice things, getting things started there, moving the ball downfield, but taking that sack on 3rd down. And let's see air out the momentum balloon just a little bit.
Well, when they began that opening drive, they didn't have the best field position, but they were able to move the ball enough, Charles, to just get in his range to take the 3-0 advantage.
Absolutely, because considering where they began that series, I think they're pretty happy to be sitting at 3-zip right now.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
This one swung out here to Jones. Across midfield. He's on his way.
And all the way in for the touchdown.
Aaron Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Chiefs are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely, no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. A first carry here for Kaneng-Nwangu.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. In motion right is Addison. He's going to handle it on the touch pass.
And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
So on fourth down, on is the punter Ryan Wright. Back deep is Kadarius Toney. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Dances by him. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And, Charles, the name of the game last time, efficiency. Their very first snap, they connected for a quick touchdown.
They get more value than just the points from that series as well. Only needing one play, it keeps the entire offense rested up.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That's good for 28 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. They're trying to get the defense to flow the other direction on the bootleg, but Charles, they were not fooled whatsoever.
I like your description there because on that flow, all you're trying to do is get them to take one step or two to the opposite side, and then you gain the advantage. But a really nice job by the defense. They didn't get caught up in it at all, able to bring him down.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. In motion left goes a tight end. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's laid out deep for Rice. And he's got it inside the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now Jones. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. And not a good time for the sack on 2nd and goal, a loss of 6. And now it's 3rd down.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Caught! It's the tight end, Kelsey, for a Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelsey, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs add 6 to their lead. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, tried to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
They go play action. Cousins escaping the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Cousins.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Smoke Monday.
And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. So after the INT, here's Mahomes.
Travis Kelce.
And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce with career touchdown number 75.
And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the lead is up to 18 now. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Cousins now on 2nd down.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here and just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
The Vikings on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Cousins to throw it. It got his man complete. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings.
Justin Jefferson.
His first touchdown on the year.
And the Vikings get a bit closer.
Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Greg Joseph on for the extra point.
It's up and good, and the lead is down now at 11. It's 21-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. He'll buy some time right. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Here's 3rd and a few inches. Throwing now is Mahomes. And that will be incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Play fake. Cousins. They'll roll him out right. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Boy, that ball's just hanging up there waiting to be intercepted. That looked doomed from the start. But they took the deep shot anyway. And fortunately, it winds up incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now a give running left is Nwangu. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Another run now for Nwangu. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle. That's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Here's 2nd and 7. Give left side here for Nwangu. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. This now a 3rd and 4. Throwing is Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Osborne motions left. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. K.J. Osborne from a yard out. And the Vikings are back within a score.
The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead down to a single point. Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the 2-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in the 2-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Jones has it. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And quickly, they get to the line. Mahomes now on first down. And they're into the end zone, but it's not verified yet. Hold on. on. There is a flag down.
And they get Pro Bowl tackle Trent Williams for the infraction there.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Mahomes. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes.
That's laid out deep for Rice. And oh no, it's incomplete. That's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up 4th down.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And the drive will wind up yielding 3.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Garden, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3?
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
Down to the 10.
And touchdown. A great play there. 79 yards.
And the Chiefs come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter.
Now Mahomes to the line as the Chiefs are going to go for the 2-point try. They're going to run for it with Jones. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw, Cousins. They'll find Osborne here. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. He's got his target. That's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Marking down at the 49. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense could breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Cousins going to bat it forward here on the jet sweep. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. They work now on 2nd and 9. On play action, Cousins. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Cousins now from the 50. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
And here's Ryan Wright now.
He'll boot it away from about his 35. The Chiefs bring pressure, and they block it. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And we can start to see that developing from up here. He came off the punter's right side. He got in there quickly.
He did, and so the question's going to be, did you hang in there long enough on the edge to block? In college, what you try and do is shove him out of his path, and then you take off running downfield because you're allowed to. In the pros, you can't release in the interior until the ball's punted, so there's no reason not to stay in there and make sure you get a good block on it.
That's laid out deep for Rice. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball. Could not hang on. Second down coming up.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They go play fake. Mahomes, flush to his right. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Mahomes going to throw.
This ball deep for Tony.
They've got his man complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Mahomes now on the sneak. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Mahomes takes it himself. And this time he breaks the plane. He's in for the touchdown.
The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Chiefs take the block punt and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that will make this a 19-point game. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
On 1st down, Mahomes. And he couldn't get rid of the football, trying to buy a little time, but he'll just tuck it and go down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. They'll try the right side with Jones. Gets around him. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
I don't think anyone thought we'd see a run facing 2nd and that long, and that element of surprise, I think, helped make that play so successful. Nice effort on that carry, and it took what seemed like 2nd and impossible, now has him within throwing range of a 1st down.
And he's able to get the 1st before he's taken down at the 36. And now they're in the hurry up. In motion left is Rice. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. This offense so far on third down, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9.
Now Patrick going to change the play.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts. This time on third down.
Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they're able to come away with the interception, Charles. They aren't able to move the ball all that much. However, they do get 3 out of it with a field goal.
Yeah, and anytime you do force a turnover, you have to come out of it with points. Everybody wants 6. They'll take the 3 there. Now it's their opportunity to do it again.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Now a second down throw for Cousins.
That's down the field for Jefferson.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there for Minnesota. 56 yards.
To get back in this ball game, big plays are going to be necessary. And here's one right on cue. Coming up with 3 scores here in the 4th is not going to be an easy task, but that's good work there to bite off a chunk of yards.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field.
Good route here.
Now Cousins.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But they trip.
And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown.
Justin Jefferson
with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game.
And the Vikings have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Joseph on for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to 15. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Flushed out right. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The linebacker Jordan Hicks flying in there for the sack. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Motion man right is Rice.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes.
That's laid out deep for Rice.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown.
Rashee Rice.
54 yards.
And the Chiefs are well on their way to a 5-0 start as they extend their lead.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And would you believe it? This is caught in the end zone. And the fake extra point works to extend their lead by 2. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taken at the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. To throw is Cousins.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And got his man complete.
And he will be taken down, but it is a huge play there to flip field position. And they'll be on the other side of the field as we have reached the 2-minute warning.
Cousins on first down.
And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Leave it. Bring up 48. Black.
Throwing, Cousins.
Complete to Addison on the out route.
And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up second down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8.
Again, it's Cousins. Did he get the feet down? Yes. Touchdown.
Justin Jefferson
From 8 yards out.
And the Vikings are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed. And I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one.
Now Cousins going to bring his guys up for the 2-point try. They'll try and throw for it. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 32 that time. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. Eluding the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And they're going to speed things up here. Now it's Mahomes again. And fights him off. Escaping the pressure. And in for the Chiefs touchdown.
Kadarius Toney.
30 yards.
And the Chiefs are able to add on to that lead. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the lead is now 24. And the touchdown apparently wasn't enough. They're going to go for the onside kick here. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go.
Now Cousins fakes a jet sweep, and off play action, he wants to throw it.
And that'll be incomplete.
Had an open man that time and ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Cousins now.
Complete. Jefferson the target.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing is Cousins.
He gets it to Addison.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Wide. Hey, no, easy.
From the red zone now, Cousins. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. To the air again, it's Cousins.
Throw caught there by Osborne.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Cousins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Kene Nwangu.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
So a tiptoe catch back in the end zone, so tough to do, but he made it look pretty easy.
Certainly did, and the back of the end zone is treated the same way as the sideline. You have to get your feet down in bounds for it to count as a catch. How about the backgrounds of some of these guys, though? Did they work on it? Maybe some of them were ballet, some dance, who knows?
Yeah, you and I were talking the other day. I remember one of my favorite kids shows growing up. I don't know that I want to name it, but guys like Lynn Swan, they used to be on there showing their ballet skills.
And you have to remember when they were kids and their parents would tell them to take the ballet classes, you know they were fighting them like crazy. But right now they're saying, thanks, Mom.
Now Cousins going to bring his guys up for the two-point try. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. Now Cousins going to bring his guys up for the two-point try. They'll look to throw.
And a third interception thrown by Cousins. Picked off by Smoke Monday.
That keeps the score. Chiefs 55, Vikings 37.
So despite the huge deficit, they're going to keep fighting. Here comes the onside kick. Down the numbers. There he goes. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understand